This T-Mobile situation is kind of ugly. It's a bad one. I don't like it. I don't think it's good for the company. I don't think it's good for anybody, including the FCC. Anyways, let me get you guys up to speed on the news. This is a story that we covered a while back, probably last year. We discussed this. Apparently, between the two entities, which would be T-Mobile and NextWave, they both own spectrum licenses in the 2.5 gigahertz range. If you guys know, the 2.5 gigahertz range is T-Mobile's N41. The entire basis of their ultra capacity network is on that frequency and those licenses. In places like New York City and the metro New York area, T-Mobile obviously has a crap ton of customers. And they've turned up the power quite a bit on their 5G UC connection and operating N41. And by turning up the power, what they've done is potentially caused harmful interference to neighboring and adjacent operators, namely NextWave. So NextWave claims, and this has been going on for over a year. Like this, it's probably been a couple years. NextWave, which is a company that actually operates a private network in which they sell it for industrial use cases, enterprise users. They say that T-Mobile's been interfering or causing interference with their connections, and it's hindered the quality or degraded the network experience. And the FCC oversees these things, and I think actually T-Mobile's been scolded for this before. They were able to prove, NextWave was able to prove the interference did exist, and then the FCC, I guess, scolded T-Mobile for it. I guess told them to turn on the power, but I guess maybe T-Mobile temporarily obliged to it, but then turned power back up, and now they're kind of fighting this whole thing. T-Mobile is basically saying there's no basis for NextWave's continued complaints about interference with signal because they're saying that NextWave doesn't have customers, and NextWave's actually not using the N41 licenses. So if there's no customers to serve, then there really isn't any service that's requiring a reduction in power. So what T-Mobile refers to as, I think they call it first in time, right? T-Mobile is the one operating the bigger one, whatever. And NextWave being second in time, they're not serving customers, so why the hell does it even matter? So I'm going to look at this objectively. First of all, there has to be a better way to handle this. T-Mobile looks like a bully. T-Mobile looks bad. This has obviously become public. You have NextWave that's actually like scolding the FCC, which is crazy, right? Like the agency, they're basically telling the agency, do your job, or telling the commission, do your job, regulate T-Mobile. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to prevent these types of harmful operations. Why the hell aren't you doing your duties, right? So it's bad for the FCC. It's bad for T-Mobile. A lot of people are referring to NextWave as a spectrum squatter or a spectrum speculator. I'm not sure, because this is where politics come into play. But I know what the rules are, and I know that T-Mobile has to live and operate by those rules. So the problem really is the rules, and the problem really is the fact that T-Mobile doesn't own the rest of that N41. I think what's going to be the best case scenario, I think T-Mobile needs to purchase NextWave. I think they, at the very least, need to purchase the licenses, which means they may have to overpay. They may have to kind of, pay more than what they want to, probably a lot more than what they want to. But they might as well just purchase NextWave at this point and just get rid of this problem. Because, T-Mobile's got potentially the ownership of 150 megahertz additional of N41, which would create huge amounts of capacity that they need, and look, they've put all their eggs into one basket, N41, right? The 2.5 gigahertz. So just, I think they should just buy NextWave, move on from this. This looks bad. This looks like it's getting ugly. It's making the FCC look bad. It's making T-Mobile look bad. Obviously, NextWave, has an interest in kind of, throwing some nastiness into the coffee, but I do think this needs to get figured out. It's just stupid. It's pointless. It just looks and sounds ridiculous, dragging on for multiple years. I think T-Mobile needs to just make a decision and move on from this, bite the bullet, and just take care of this issue and put it behind them and make it a thing of the past. Anyways, who do you guys think is right? Who do you think is wrong? What do you think should happen? What are your thoughts and opinions? I think the FCC does need to do something here. Grow some balls, have some teeth, do your job, and then T-Mobile, just put up the ducats and buy this company and put them out of their misery. Whatever. Anyways, thanks for watching.